Hey guys, how's it going? In today's video, I'm installing a pallet walkway and I want to show you how I'm going to do it. So I think I've got the perfect spot. We're right behind our tool shed and potting shed and gazebo, kind of back in this area. I think it's going to look really great. I actually think pallet walkways look a little bit magical, like kind of life-size fairy garden style. So I've got my pallets rounded up. The first thing I need to do is rip them apart. So you can usually pick up old pallets for a song. I mean, visit any grocery store, anywhere where somebody's receiving product. We receive like concrete and plants down at the garden center on pallets, and we end up with huge stacks of them. So that's what I've got here, are just some aged ones that I've kind of chosen. I like how thick the boards are. To tear them apart, it's really easy. All you need is a saw, a crowbar, and a hammer, and some serious elbow grease. Also, you need safety equipment in the way of gloves and a pair of protective glasses. I can't find my safety glasses in the garage, so I'm just gonna use some sunglasses. Whatever protects your eyes. The first tool I'm going to use in this project is a circular saw. You certainly don't need to use a power tool. You can use a regular hand saw. It would just take a little bit more time and a little bit more work on your part. Aaron used the opportunity to buy another battery operated tool, which I can't really complain about. All right, we'll put the pallet over here. Since I don't want to pry up every single nail in this pallet, I'm going to go ahead and cut a line along this side and then cut right along this side, and that way I don't have to pry any of these side pieces up. So I suppose you don't have to use a saw at all if you don't mind the extra work. All right, so now with a crowbar and a hammer, I'm just gonna work on gently prying up each one of these boards from the center. So each pallet that you come across will be a little bit different. This one is a little bit harder than some others to get apart, and some come apart really easy. So this one's gonna take me a little while. So that was a lot of work. Even with power tools, I worked up a pretty good sweat. So halfway through, Aaron was like, you know what? It would be a lot easier to just cut the boards off of that center piece of wood instead of prying up all the nails with the crowbar. So we went and got this out of the barn. This has a metal blade on it. So I was able just to slide this under every board and just cut them off right at the nails. So that saved me so much time. Again, not necessary to use this tool, but it does make it easier. In fact, I think that you could probably use just this one tool to cut all the boards off instead of cutting the sides and messing with that whole business. But I'd already started by cutting the sides, so I'd made my boards shorter. So I'd kind of had to keep going in that vein. But anyway, this project can be done multiple ways. So this right here is where the pathway is gonna go. It's gonna start right here underneath this arbor. And this is kind of like goes into our driveway area back here. So it'll start right here by these pavers and it'll just kind of swing around, kind of, you know, by all these plants. And this I just have been working on. So with every area that you're gonna do a walkway, you wanna make sure it's pretty level. This area was fairly level down on this side, but over there was a little bit of a dip in the walkway kind of section. So I did go ahead and mulch the whole area, and I just did really like a lot deeper mulch toward the beginning over there. The whole area needed it anyway because I had just kind of messed everything up with all my planting and I ran new drip lines. So it's fairly level. The more level you have it, of course, the longer your pathway is gonna last. And we've got pieces of wood that are fairly old anyway, so you wanna have as much support underneath them as possible. So now what I'm gonna do is take all of the pieces I just cut and I'm just gonna lay the whole pathway out. All right, so as I put these boards down, I'm gonna kind of nest them into the mulch a little bit. And I also don't really have a pattern that I'm going with. I'm just gonna kind of put them down and eyeball it. So they're gonna be slightly different widths apart from each other. They're also not all the same length, see that? I wanted it to look a little bit more whimsy rather than so precise. So I just try to make sure if I've got different colors or different widths that it's kind of separated a little bit, like not, you know, 5 of the same width of board all in the same area. So I'm noticing on a couple of these boards that there's a little bit of springiness, and so I know that I could come in and either add a little bit more mulch under there. I could have spent more time in the prep process of this, like tamping the area down properly and all that business, but I think I got it pretty level, and this is meant to just be a quick, fun project, and I'm really happy with the way it's going. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come in with my drill, and I'm gonna drill holes on either end of the board, right here, and then I'm gonna run my pins down into the ground, and that's what will help secure everything in place. pretty much the whole thing done, except for I did my math really wrong, so I've got to go back to the store and get more landscape pins. But this is what I use to anchor all the boards down. These are 8-inch plastic landscape edging pins. Now you could use whatever you want to anchor these down. I mean, if you can figure out something that's really cheap to do this with, then you know, you could make this pathway for a lot less expensive. But all in all, after I go back to the store, I'll probably be in this project about $75, which is mostly just pins. And I think that is really good for how it turned out. It looks really very whimsical, which is what I wanted back here. I didn't want it to look really rigid or like pavers or stones. I just wanted something softer back here. And once I got them all pinned down, I mean, they are sturdy, they're stable. I don't like feel uncertain walking on these at all. What I will do though, once I have them all pinned down, is I'll probably come pour a little bit more mulch on top and sweep it in between each one of the boards so that they're a little bit more nested in. So anyway, that's it for this video, you guys. I hope you enjoyed seeing it come together, and maybe it sparked something for you, like some kind of idea of what you can do out in your garden. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.